Why home buyers fail to fight against the builder. They sulk, protest, take to streets, and even drag the builder into litigation. However, they are more often than not silenced and forced to succumb by the builders, even in the wake of delays in delivery, mismatch in promise and product, or simply intentional cheating. I am Ravi Sinha, and with my years of experience in the property market, I am trying to explain what empowers the builders and why home buyers fail to fight. In the Bollywood movie Kranti, there is this punchline dialogue: कुल्हाड़ी में अगर लकड़ी का जस्ता ना होता तो लकड़ी के कटने का रास्ता ना होता. What it means is that a spade cannot cut a tree unless being supported by a piece of wood that originates from the same tree. While this may be true in many other walks of life, but in the context of fight between the builder and the home buyers, it holds the value of a divine truth. No builder, howsoever rich or powerful otherwise, can silence the buyers if the buyers in their collective spirit are standing for the common cause to fight against injustice. The facade of the might of the ruthless builder, being surrounded by scores of muscle-men bodyguards, can be collapsed with a single weapon of the underdog, courage of upright. Unfortunately, in the name of common cause, the cause is seldom common, even though prima facie it appears to be. As a matter of fact, every buyer has his own definition and set of interests to get into a fight with the builder. The legitimate fight that should ideally start with the conviction of being upright often starts with suspicion, one-upmanship, or even worse, ulterior motive. No, I am not just referring the limited understanding of buyers about each other as they suspect the intention of those who take up the lead. This is quite natural. Also, as they mostly come from varied background, culture, and overall outlook towards life and living in society is different. The real problem is with the intentional limited vision of the goal, where what suits the self is the bottom line and a collective fight is the ladder to get elevated to a level where the builder is obliged to entertain to select few. Often it is the short-term gains that lead to long-term pains. The buyers who maintain at the face value that they are not ready for a fight with the mighty builder and prefer to live peacefully with family and job being their priority might be the first and preferred choice of the builder. Yet, such home buyers cannot be blamed to be cause spoilers since they do not raise the bar of expectations to sabotage it later. They are just self-centered group of people without any explicit harm to the buyer's cause, even though it helps the builder tacitly. The real sharks are those home buyers who constantly live under the garb of common cause. They are normally preferred by majority of buyers as everyone needs a Samaritan who fight the battle on their behalf. This group of activists maintain their tough posture against the builder longer than those who leave their shell at the first temptation. A property buyer in Jirakpur who has dragged a builder in the court of law along with other victim home buyers does not find it shameless to admit, why will I refuse money if the builder offers me to be silent? If I have put in my head out and taken a risk, I deserve to be paid if the builder feels my silence will help his cause. Unfortunately, these kind of buyers have no shame or remorse to sabotage a legitimate collective fight of underdog against a mighty builder who has just done a collective damage to all the property buyers. I have come across 5 kinds of buyers in the course of my nearly more than a decade of experience as a real estate journalist. First group of buyers are builders' own proxy among the buyers. The clever builder knows the advantages of selling his apartment at a lower price to few close ADs who would be used suitably in future. It's not easy to identify this set of home buyers. After all, they are the ones to keep fighting with the builder on behalf of rest of the home buyers. It's a different matter that the facade of conflict turns out to be friendly fight and the agenda is settled in private. Some of their demands for society at large are also accepted by the builder to lend credence to these society warriors. Mind you, if some other group of activists raise their heads in the society, these mercenaries would be willing to be a party to join them. Once they infiltrate into the rival buyers' camp, they could easily assess the strength and weakness of the rest of the buyers, and thereafter it is easy to either silence them or play one against the other. Second group of buyers who confront the developers are sheer blackmailers who take on the builder to arm twist. More often than not, they prowl in groups to make the fight look collective and legitimate. In some of the notorious markets like Noida, Ghaziabad and around, they are local professional blackmailers. The smart builder knows their identity and intent and does not fall into the trap of group booking, and those who fall into bulk booking trap pay it later. This does not mean that unprofessional and unorganized blackmailer buyers do not exist. They do exist, and often it's not easy to identify them either. Once paid, compensated or obliged by the builder, they change their tune with utter shamelessness, and one of the worst projects becomes one of the best projects overnight. They suddenly turn out to be preachers of economic wisdom to tell others that the home buyers in their collective wisdom only deserve this kind of project or amenities with this much of money. Third are those who could easily be classified as emotional fools, even though the product is less than desirable and promised. Even though they suffer with poor maintenance, seepage, and depreciation of property due to poor construction quality, they are still into the emotional trap of no one should criticize my dream home. The smart builders know how to make use of the emotionally fooled buyers who subscribe to the builder's sermon that any criticism of the property will lead to depreciation. It is as if a poor construction and poor maintenance can also lead to appreciation, if only the gullible buyers are scared to be critical. The fourth category of buyers are the gullible souls who pick up the fight with all the noble intentions but fail to pick up the right associates. The crusaders or the society warriors whom they trust upon for the long-term solutions for the general welfare turn out to be carriers of short-term agenda. Once exposed with the reality of fellow fighters, such buyers prefer to buy out peace and leave the fight midway. Thus, even after winning the initial battle against the builder, these buyers lose the war. In the final analysis, the fellow home buyers, the neighbors, look down upon them as they are more part of the problem than part of the solution. The fifth category of buyers start the fight against the builder with all the right intentions but without evaluating its natural and reactionary consequences. Once the cost and benefit of this confrontation is realized, they get into their shell. Of course, it's not easy for a common office-going guy to fight the money and muscle power of a mighty builder. The builder also understands the limitations of this set of buyers whose primary responsibility is to continue with the job and spend time with family. However, such spineless buyers have absolutely no answer to why they raise their hands for common cause and raise the bar of expectations on part of the fellow buyers. Are they not educated and socially conscious to understand their own limits and the larger consequences of fighting against the giant? These are the kind of rebel turned rat buyers who end up damaging the long term prospects of the society. Why will the builder easily give up the creamy business of running the maintenance of the apartment? Rather, the smart builder knows the, the art of conspiracy to make the group of activist buyers fight among themselves and suspect each other. Petty temptations of money and some other benefits more often than not work in such cases. In majority of the instances, the builder manages to convince, confuse or corrupt the society crusaders. And when the builder fails to do so, there starts another round of I will fix you session. With money and muscle power, the builder is quite capable of intimidating the buyers with defamation threat and other legal means. I am also privy to a Noida-based builder framing the buyers in fabricated criminal cases with the connivance of the local police. Unfortunately, the double trap of judicial pressure and simultaneously maneuvering to buy peace works with a large number of home buyers. While some of them surrender for job and family pressures, others find it hard to sustain a fight that they had thought to be a reward exercise for self or society in the guise of common cause. The bottom line is quite clear. The home buyers fail to fight in most of the cases for their own faults. It's not that there are no instances or case studies of the home buyers fighting the mighty builder and making him lick the dust. But such cases are few and far between in a housing market where the builders get away with even after constant deception with the buyers, while home buyers fail to fight on most of the occasions. In the end, what should you do? Keep your eyes and ears open. Make builder accountable. Fight for your rights, but don't fall prey to vested interests. How? Look for some of the warning signs. Warning signs are: beware of the builder's proxy among the home buyers. Their friendly fight is to divert attention from the real problems. Volunteers who are over enthusiastic to take up your personal grievances with the builder might be looking for legitimacy in the society. Check the preparedness of society warriors financially, socially, and legally before committing for fighting common cause. While fighting against injustice and builders' high-handedness is your right, be conscious of the fact that in the name of fighting a common cause, you are not playing into the hands of vested interests. Hope I have given some clarity to the common home buyers and in the process rubbed the vested interest the wrong way. But then that's how I am. Thanks for watching.